Hello, folks. I don't know if you can see me. I'm just holding it. It's Tuesday at 7, and we're going to have a studio night here with Gen XYZ. If I'm going to come on this side so you can. You'll see Nikki and Carrie.
Hello.
I'm not wearing my Gen XYZ, but you are.
I know. I'm the only one.
All right, go ahead. Go turn around.
I didn't think about it.
Gen XYZ. What are you doing? Is that? Wait, show your hair again. Flip that back over.
I have blue hair in. I just put it in. Yeah.
That's awesome. And then, Matt, you are getting ready and preparing to give us some airbrush madness, right? And what we're and we're going to talk through tonight. We're going to be talking through where different projects people are on. There's going to be a lot of questions, I would imagine, in terms of airbrush and airbrush makeup. We're going to give away some stuff from Deb Sherrill from last week.
Nice.
Have Matt fire up the airbrush, and we're going to have kind of informal, fun evening, and hopefully a whole bunch of questions, and hopefully a whole bunch of folks that are watching. I see Mike, you're on there. You got blue hair as well to match Carrie's blue hair.
Yay.
Yeah.
Blue hair team.
Yeah, and we got Anthony, Andrew. We got several people jumping in. Remember, if you're on, we are trying to hold an interactive session. And so your questions and such are invited. We want this to be interactive. And I'm going to walk over here just to, we're going to see. Hey, Matt, what are you doing?
I'm stretching this morph suit over a head form so I don't have to victimize somebody with paint that's going to go through it. He'll just get on my mannequin instead.
Because we do have an option that we could put somebody in there and stand there for a while and be sprayed, right?
Hours.
So we're using a morph suit tonight. A morph suit I guess that's the brand name. It's just a bodysuit that a person can be completely covered in. You can see through it. And it includes everything, hands and legs and feet. When we've used morph suits before, I mean, there's been times that I think I just wore them with the just covered, and there are other times that we cut out the eyes. But we're going to use the morph suit here, and we'll go from there. Again, this is interactive, so as we're pulling up, I'm going to set this tripod down so we can kind of talk through here. And guys, if it's a little Blair Witch, because I'm moving around here. Yeah, excuse that. I'm gonna. All right, tilt this thing up.
How much do the morph suits cost?
So morph suit is kind of the brand name. I think those are somewhere in the $25 range, but you can buy them online and just buy kind of the full body suit for probably $20.
Nice.
Yeah, and once you have it, you are set. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull, for those of you who shared the Deb Sherrill art pour video last week, we're going to go ahead and pull that artwork. And let's start with this one here, actually.
The Roger Superman.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I've never seen that.
That's Matt's work. So, Deb.
Oh my goodness.
So, Deb, you did this pour, and Sherry, I'm going to have you hold this.
Yeah.
And I'll hold the Ohio.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
So, what she did is she poured the Ohio and home, and we're going to go ahead and give this away as the first giveaway, and then we'll give an art pour for the second piece as well. And, Nikki, if you could pull the hat.
Hat is pulled.
Hat is pulled. And you get a good view of that, Carrie?
Yeah.
Go ahead and pull name, Nikki,
Okay.
and read that name, and that's going to be the one who gets this Ohio and home.
Judy Snook Keen.
Judy Keene. Judy Keene was an artist that we had a month or so ago who's a glass artist. So, Judy, you get Deb Sherrill's work. We're glad that you shared, and Deb, thank you for providing this as well. So, and this is going to be the first one.
Awesome.
All right, and we're going to go to the second one.
Yeah.
And this is This is a another great piece. You can go ahead and bring that in here.
That is beautiful.
Signed by Deb. That's a great pour. If you were watching last week, Deb is a former nurse who was really interested in art and the chemistry of it. And although she paints with brushes, she found herself in this kind of chemistry pouring mode. And so we're giving away this artwork as well. And if you want to pull out this, yeah, pull out the second one. Anybody who shared, we're giving away this artwork.
And it's gonna be
This is another nice piece.
Jim Karras.
Jim Karras.
Yay!
Congratulations, and again, thank you for sharing. If you, I don't know what we're gonna give away after tonight, but we're gonna be giving away some things. So, and what I will tell you is, Jim and Judy, I think I have your address there at the at your studio. Jim, if you could instant message me your address so we can get this out to you as well. For other folks, if I've got about 3 or 4 giveaways that are still out there waiting to be mailed, and so if you're one of those folks, make sure I have your address so we can give that away. All right, so let's do some updates. Carrie, we're gonna start with you.
Sure.
All right. So what have you been up to?
I'm figuring out life right now. Building my business, Makeup Madhouse. I've built my whole website myself, makeupmadhouse.com. And I'm constantly doing new body paints, especially with Christmas coming up. So I'm working on that. And then one of my big things right now is I have my own giveaway going on. So I hit 15,000 followers on Instagram, and I decided to give back to my followers and supporters. So I'm going to be giving away 3 gift boxes from Colored Contacts, so all the fun, crazy lenses. And then I'm going to be giving away 1 prize box that has $400 worth of makeup and paint and cream paints, water-based paints, and a bunch of different makeup products. So if anyone watching right now is interested in that, if you go to Instagram, Makeup Madhouse, I have everything on there. So that's my big thing right now for me.
Great.
Yeah.
So,
Very exciting.
yeah, so some folks may say, yeah, we know why Gen XYZ exists, and we originally combined to compete with the Monster Make-Off. Yeah. And did we get together, like last spring?
Yes.
Because it was in May.
Was it like April? When did we get together?
It was cold.
It was cold. Yeah, when we
Snow
got together.
around, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Uh-huh.
That's not saying a lot for Ohio.
Right. You never really know.
It was
either March or April.
Yeah, so we've
No, it had to be before that.
February.
Really? February?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I remember
we
a
met out
February
at
meeting.
Kent start.
Did we meet?
We met out at Kent at the thing first,
At the coffee shop.
and then
No, that was after we met here. Right?
no, because we came here. We met everybody the first time out there, and then we came here and did all the.
Yeah.
No, because I had already been sculpting.
Yeah, you already sculpted me. So we met here, and
That's
then
right.
then
And
I
we
contacted
added Al.
and
Yeah.
that's when we met Al for the first time in Kent.
Yeah, that is correct.
So not quite a year, but almost a year since we first combined and started to put together the mad talents of the folks here.
Yeah.
And we've done several things besides Monster Make-Off. We did the Brunswick 5K.
Yeah.
We did some commercials there. And each of us kind of have our own projects on the side. So, Carrie, what's that Instagram address again?
Makeup Madhouse. Yeah. Instagram. I have it on Facebook also. My website, Makeup Madhouse.
Gotcha. We see a bunch of other folks that are joining. Siobhan and Jerry. I know I'm missing some folks here because your names have Jalen, yeah, Anthony. There's a whole bunch of folks that are there live. Thank you again. We're gonna feel free to ask questions as well. All right, Nikki.
Yeah.
People have probably seen you all over the place because you're this giant Nosferatu creature. And there was a lot of hair to go under that bald cap. So to tell us a little bit about what's going on with you, just personally, and as Matt's kind of getting stuff together, what's going on?
I finally got a big girl job, so I think that's pretty exciting.
Yay, big girl jobs.
Yeah.
There you go. Have to grow up.
I know, right? Ew. I'm a domestic violence shelter at Safer Futures, which is a domestic violence shelter in Portage County. But then I also, like, creative-wise, I've been doing a lot of shoots with Jess, who's our photographer for Gen XYZ. That's been a lot of fun.
So you were our model then, and you're a model. Were you in makeup? Out of makeup?
Yeah, well, I was a vampire. Seen Dracula. It's Lucy from Dracula, right?
Yeah.
I was her. We went to Squire's Castle. We had like a really fun shoot there.
Yeah.
Even vampires. God.
I don't know. I just want
You get spooky. Yeah.
That's it. Well, thank you for that update.
The photos were amazing. Jess did a great job.
She did.
And you looked amazing, so it was great.
Yeah, so those folks who might be interested, at Gen XYZ, we've got makeup artists, we've got models, we've got a photographer, we've got, Al. Al Louise is our costume designer. We were blessed to have her join our team as well. She's on her way to Chicago. We'll call her at some point, but she's on her way back to Chicago from Kent. She lives in Chicago, and she's going back there for Thanksgiving. And by the way, folks, happy Thanksgiving. Now, Matt, how are you at multitasking? Can we ask you questions while you're setting up here?
I can try.
All right. Well, tell us what you've been up to in the past couple months.
Well,
I'm going to set this down so it's not so shaky.
I've been kind of setting myself up with a couple different projects. Work at the tattoo shop, King Crow Tattoo in North Olmsted. If anybody's looking for a cool tattoo. Yeah.
Can they give away a tattoo for the holidays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you give it to me? I take that as a no.
So you're tattooing now, but what were you doing in there in October?
Over October, I was out at Blood Prison, head makeup artist out there. Have a really good staff of makeup artists, and our haunt was given #1 by I think 3 reviews, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah,
#1 in Ohio. That was fun. Spider-Man came through. Got to scare him a little bit, you know.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't get to see him. You know, I'm stuck in my own little box, you know, down in the makeup room. But the haunters did a great job at scaring him, so he really enjoyed himself, and they enjoyed him too.
So they were shooting here.
Yeah, they were doing a movie up in Cleveland, the Russo brothers, I believe.
Okay.
I'm not sure the name of the movie. Suck at following that kind of stuff. So
they came through, huh? They came through as customers, and did they do the kind of behind the scenes that check out makeup and stuff?
No,
or
they didn't go behind the scenes. They did. They
weren't
actually
famous
did.
enough for that,
They
right?
did a touch pass walk through our haunt. So
what's a touch pass?
you pay an extra little fee, and we get to touch you.
Oh, nice.
Those are my favorite.
I didn't know that.
So
you could do that. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
Yeah, I bet.
not in the wrong way. So like,
Right.
not that kind of haunted house. We get a little bit more aggressive, push the envelope a little bit.
I know that you're a great makeup artist with sculpting and casting and such, but you kind of settled probably, what would you say is the percentage of makeup that you do is airbrush related, just in general, percentage wise?
I would probably at least say 90% if it's not a prosthetic, you know. I fell in love with the airbrush, learned how to control the airbrush, and I can pretty much do everything I need to do with it. So
Gotcha. What are a couple advantages of the airbrush?
One, contamination.
Okay.
You eliminate contamination or the cross-contamination kind of stuff when it comes to makeup, because you're not actually coming in contact with any person or anything like that. So that's the #1 advantage.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it is pricey if you're doing it. We used alcohol-based European body art, Endura, for our haunt, and it's on the pricey side, but it holds up. Like, I didn't have to touch an actor all night long.
Yeah, that stuff doesn't come off.
Yeah, and we're talking about these. We got actors that are going out in the rain, working, and that stuff is not coming off them. So that's a big advantage when you're working that big of a haunt. When you've got 60 actors a night, sometimes more, and you don't have to sit there and constantly redo people. So you may have an appliance issue where they got a little bit sweaty and the appliance lifted, but for the most part,
You're in. Once you're painted, you're in, and it moves with you. Now, Carrie, you do mostly
Hand painting.
hand painting.
Yeah.
So your body painting is, I mean, you're not painting 100 people and sending them into a haunted house to work over time. You're doing a different technique. What do you like about the hand painting?
I feel like it's more like intimate. You really get to feel your canvas, which like that is a huge difference. It is a lot more time consuming, so you have to have a lot of patience for it. But I love being able to do a lot of detail and just like really getting in there. Yeah, so I guess it's just more of a preference thing. I also haven't mastered the airbrush like crazy yet, so I haven't really been able to pick between one or the other. But I love being able to sit down and just paint for hours.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to. I think it feels relaxing and therapeutic to do it, and we're going to continue to ask questions and take a bunch of questions from folks as well. So it's the contamination is a great one. The durability of the airbrush makeup. Any others that jump out at you real quick, Matt?
The blend and shading that you can get, you can really work a good soft shadow in. Where I've done brush painting, and you've got mad skills in doing it. I've seen
Takes a lot more
your
time.
blends, right? But I like when we were doing Nikki as the Nosferatu for that contest. You know, if it wasn't for her being able to drop the brush and do that whole base coat that was there, the one thing I noticed with alcohol-based paint, it's really hard to get that transfer from the latex, even if it's foam latex, to skin. You get the visual where you can still see it. So we noticed when we were doing that sample run that her using the what do you use, the water paint?
Yeah, the Paradise Paints water-based.
They covered from skin to appliance and blended beautifully. You couldn't even tell anymore. So it saved a lot of time with those.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'd have been. You guys were, because you go to the makeup artist on that. You guys would have been a lot of time basing her out. Yeah. All right, Matt. So, tell us a little bit about. Talk to us about your brush first. I'm gonna zip in here. You just zipped in, and
cleaned them.
right next to the pretzels are your airbrushes, and
Tastes good.
and are these two the same brushes?
Yep, they're both Iwata Eclipses, HBCs, I believe. Or HBs. I need to learn my numbers better.
Yeah.
And then I also need bifocals because it looks like BCSs, HP BCSs.
Mm-hmm.
Siphon feed. I don't like gravity feed, but you know, to each their own. You know, you use whatever you're comfortable with. In the haunt industry, the siphon feed, being able to switch colors in and out without wasting a lot of the paint and the time involved, because with gravity feed, you put it in there. If you have any left over, you have to pour it back into your bottle, then rinse it out, flush it out, switch to your colors. With the siphon feed, all I gotta do is put it on there, spray, switch out the bottles, run a little alcohol through it between if I want to. If you know how to stagger your colors, certain colors will eat other colors, so knowing like you can't use Death Burgundy and then go jump right into white, you know, because you're gonna get pink. So you know you have to flush out between those, but learning which colors will eat other colors helps out a lot when you're doing it in, like, mass quantities fast.
Yeah. Give us a elementary show and tell on siphon feed. So in other words, I mean, you have a gravity feed is.
I have a gravity feed too.
You have a gravity feed to show?
This This is
So
a gravity feed.
gravity feed. So what do you do with the gravity feed? You
Paint goes in the top, and basically the gravity plus the airflow create a vacuum inside, and it allows the paint to blow out.
gotcha.
Where siphon feed, the paint comes in from the bottom, you put your bottle in, and the airflow causes a vacuum and pulls the paint up out of the bottle and flows out.
Yeah, makes sense. And so gravity feed versus siphon feed. Again, the gravity feed, as you had mentioned before, you've got to clean that out if you're going between colors, right?
Yeah, I would put, and again, I don't want to discredit people from using gravity feed because there are importance with it.
Yeah.
To me, it's more of a crafter's brush. It's something that if you're doing a lot of different projects and you're using the same color, so you're like, so you can go through, fill your thing up and use it all until it's gone. And then once it's gone, you switch to the next color and do your next setups.
Makes
You know,
sense.
and I believe that would work great for something along those lines. And then you're not wasting a lot of paint. But just in the haunt industry, as far as, again, this is my preference. Everybody else is different, but the siphon feed allows me to transition colors faster so that I can get a piece done and just move on to the next person and move on, because it's basically we're doing, ours is we have 3 hour makeups, and we have what we call hero makeups, which we spend a little bit more time on because they're the more visible characters that are in our haunt, and that allows us, you know, when we spend that little more time, it allows us to put a little bit more details in them because they're always going to be seen. It's rather they're the outside actors who are right in the customers' faces repeatedly that can so that way they can break that that barrier as far as being believable or not, and not just look like makeup splattered on somebody.
Yeah.
Where our rest of our haunt actors, they're usually like, you know, 5-10 minute makeup jobs where you just gotta get them in the chair, spray them down. You know, you almost want to create an assembly line, have them all stand around you, and you just work in circles. And that's what it feels like, you know, when you're doing that many makeup jobs in one night.
So you pop out the siphon feed, you pop off one bottle, one color, and then you pop on the next, right?
Okay, so you just pop your color in, you spray, change the color out, filter out a little bit, pop in your next color, and you're good to go. So
there's your siphon feed. Now you said what is the Iwata?
This is an Iwata Eclipse. This is the BCS.
And and again, there's a single action and double action airbrush. This is obviously a double action. Tell us about that.
Double action basically is where you push down, you release air pressure. When you pull back, you release the paint. Because that pulls when you pull back, the needle pulls back from the nozzle that's inside here, which then activates the siphon inside here and causes the paint to pull forward.
Gotcha. And then the distance or the amount that you draw back and the more paint you release allows you to create detail and...
Yeah, I also found out too with the... And again, you got to be really careful when you're doing it. With the Iwata Eclipse, there is usually a little nozzle on the top. And again, I haven't used it in so long. There's a little cap nozzle on here. And it kind of dummies down the and also helps protect the needle, but you also lose that ability to getting really sharp, crisp lines.
So you pop the top off, right?
Yep.
And be extra careful that you're not bending your needle up.
Well, now the needle's kind of exposed. I don't know if you guys can see that or not.
Yeah.
Keep the hand there. Oh.
It did for a second.
Yeah. Oh, there we
There.
are. Yep.
So I have to be very careful when I'm spraying somebody and I'm getting in there tight, trying to do some nice details, that I don't end up stabbing them in the temple with a needle.
Yeah.
And again, it may happen, and it hurts because I've stabbed myself a lot. Honestly,
You haven't stabbed me yet, so I'm okay with it.
But it helps you get the tighter details.
Yeah.
That's how I like to work, and when I do teach, I give that option to my students that I'm teaching to let them know as well that, you know, this is a way that you could increase your detail. If you don't feel comfortable with it, run the cap.
Yeah.
But you might not get as tight of a line. Don't be discouraged. It's that cap kind of hinders that a little bit. It's just the way that when the air comes out, it kind of swirls a little bit more inside that cap, which the paint will actually start to build up on the inside of that cap as well. So you're constantly cleaning the inside of the cap up, cleaning the needle off. This makes it easier for me. If I needed to wipe that needle off, I can just run my nail across and wipe that needle off too, without having to undo that cap.
Gotcha.
So it clears out another step that would cause me to have to take a little bit more time.
So Iwata, double action, siphon feed, and compressor.
Well,
I mean, there's all kinds of compressor options, right?
There's a lot of different compressors. I have one at home that's got to go in the shop, and you can't even tell it's running unless you see the little light click on. But it's an oil-based compressor.
Okay.
This here is a Pache compressor. It's which one is this one? Yeah, it's a great workhorse. I'll tell you, it's a Pro Series Pache 3/4 horse. I've used it for everything from painting people to airbrushing walls to T-shirts. It does it all. It's a little more noisy.
Although but you're up to pressure right now, right?
No, I'm a little light.
Okay.
Where are we at? Yeah, we're a little light at this point, but I'm at enough pressure with the with what I'm spraying. Yeah. So like I could spray for a little while. It doesn't take long. Go ahead and plug that in.
So tell us what PSI you
it's
spray.
not that super loud because it's got a muffler on it, and really for what this compressor costs, if you can get it at a convention, you can get them for right around 200-ish. But if you get it off market, like I bought it at Amazon, use the Amazon's free shipping, I think I paid $260 total for it, because at the time the warehouse for Pache didn't have any, but for some reason Amazon, whoever they were being supplied by, had them.
Yeah, I see.
So it helped out a lot by me getting it real quick.
So it's noisy now. It's building up pressure. Once it builds up, what is the pressure that you suggest that you spray folks?
For skin, I run it no more than 35.
35 for skin, the highest.
Yeah, that's me personally. And depending on, I got two people on here, so like if you're running it,
so you're adjusting pressure there, right?
Yeah, if you're running two guns, you always want to have both people activate the guns at the same time when you're dialing your pressure down, because you don't want to dial it too low, and then when both of you start spraying, you're robbing one from the other, because it kind of does. If you hit both of them at the same time, you'll watch the gauge drop a little bit. So you'll just bump it up, hit it at, you can still do 35 to at most 40 if both people are running. I run between 30 to 35 by myself. And sometimes if I'm trying to get really super tight lines, I may even turn it down a little bit more just to get a little bit steadier line.
Yeah. And so you've got two hoses running out of here for two airbrushes. You probably don't need a whole lot more than that if you're mobile, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to run, like at the haunted house, one of the guys that was there, they had a manifold that would allow them to run two more, so they ran a separate one line coming up to the manifold, allowing them to run two airbrushes off for themselves.
Gotcha.
But then they can dial theirs down because they had the air adjustment on the manifold as well.
I
so
see.
they could turn their machine up higher. You can run more airbrushes off of it. You just have to put a larger manifold with more brushes attached.
Gotcha.
And with each brush you're running at the same time. Now he was using his one airbrush station was using two separate airbrushes, but it was just him, so he would just switch between the airbrushes. So you could leave your whites on the one airbrush, so you don't have to keep on cleaning it out, and then swap your colors all out of the other one.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, makes sense. could you do a quick demo on a hand or on an arm just to show how it sprays on skin, and maybe give a 2 or 3 minute little pointer on that? Or what are your thoughts?
Let me get set up for that real quick. I'm set up for the other, but
Oh, if you want to set, I mean, if you're set up, we can just.
No, you're fine.
Okay. So for those folks who are watching, feel free to ask some questions, and we're going to kind of have a conversation here. Matt's showing us and going to talk through the details of his airbrush equipment and some of the things that he's done along the way to feel comfortable and to master that brush and that paint. If you share, we're going to be giving away some stuff next week.
Carrie.
Oh, yeah.
Nikki's putting me up for auction.
Up for auction?
I don't have anything to offer, so.
We have a lot of folks watching. Thank you guys for joining. I'm hoping that we've got a good connection. It looks good from my angle. If anything, if it feels like it's weird or you're not hearing sound well, let me know. I see folks in and out. Kelly Cook is watching. Kelly Cook was a model, I think it was a year or so ago, when it was just paint on the skin. So Matt's going to do a quick demo on skin, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go over to painting over a morph suit. And Matt, you may have been painting over suits for quite some time. Is that true, or is painting over a morph suit still newer to you?
No, I mean, I've done different forms of, like, sometimes I would do the lower body on like a tight fitting shirt or something like that, or not as much the face though, because that was usually something that was sculpted or 3D or.
We did Cynthia's legs.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to hand this to you,
Sure.
Carrie, so you can. I think I actually have those legs over here.
Legs.
The legs.
Didn't know you kept those.
And did you see your faces up here? Here's our Cynthia's.
Oh, yeah, that is my face.
Face.
My teeth are over there.
Where are your teeth? Oh, they're
Over here. Right?
Yeah.
These are them.
So there's her face
I think so.
and
These are unpainted ones.
our
right?
teeth for Cynthia. And I think we're getting the tights now that we used for him.
Can we find any more Cynthia here?
Yeah, where's Cynthia? She's scattered everywhere.
She's
Dismembered.
Yeah.
Did the dress go back?
No, you still have the dress, right?
Oh yeah. Dress and collar and everything are here because we figured she's gonna make an appearance.
Yeah.
Somewhere, sometime, perhaps in a movie or something.
Do you still have my face here?
There's
like my face,
the
right?
face.
Oh, your
My
Oh.
cast?
yeah.
Oh, you know what we have?
You have my
Your
mini
mini face. All right, here's your mini face. So you can take home your.
Oh,
your
there
mini
she
face.
is. How precious.
So
You guys are
creepy.
twins.
So you can take your mini face home with you, Carrie. We haven't poured your mini face yet.
Yeah.
It's here, ready for
Still
some.
some
Oh,
diamond.
amazing.
Yeah, we're gonna pour some stone in there at some point, but it's little now. We're gonna
Oh
pour a
my
mini face for you.
goodness.
That is tiny.
Yeah, isn't it fun?
Carrie, why is your face
How
so small?
cool. I don't know. I didn't do it.
That's just the allergen that shrinks.
Yeah, we'll have to clean it out, but you're
There
gonna get a
I
little
am.
mini face here,
Oh,
Carrie.
my nose is so cute.
Mini face cast.
Oh, fun.
And yeah, we
It's
have.
probably in that mold right there.
What's that?
Is that her face down there in that mold?
Oh yeah.
Did I really just throw my jacket on that? I'm so sorry.
Way to go!
How
God.
dare you,
that's,
Carrie?
that's the head.
Oh, that's the top of the
I know where your face cast is. It's over here.
Oh,
The top of my head
There's
or the top
heads
of Carrie's
everywhere.
head?
that's that's the top part for your head.
Oh.
All right, so as we're digging out.
And we're gonna have to make another run on that bad boy.
Yeah.
My head!
Look at that.
There you go.
Look at your face.
Go ahead and hold that up there so we can revisit the life cast.
What was your favorite part of that experience?
Getting it off of my face.
Yeah, same.
I've never felt more like claustrophobic in my life.
What was your least favorite part?
The ears! Oh my god, the ears! I thought that I was going to throw up that entire time. I don't like things touching my ears, but the latex literally had to go inside of my ears.
Mm-hmm.
And Sure, that one.
The alginate.
I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, you were not a fan of that.
No.
We were being
It was right here.
Yep, this is where it happened.
Now, Carrie, you had a face cast.
Yes.
Tell us about your face cast experience.
Well, everyone did such a great job. It definitely went smooth. I had a couple mini panic attacks, but I kept calm. The best part definitely was taking it off, though. But it's an experience. I'm glad I did it. It was so scary.
I really didn't think I would like make it through without you guys coaching me the whole time.
Yeah.
Carrie, we have your I actually came across it, and I just was packing away after the season. This was just kind of fun. I still have it.
Oh.
I thought I did.
Oh no, my writing.
Yeah. So as you were in the face cast. Oh, here it is. So in your face cast, while you were completely covered, you had a Sharpie and
Oh, I did a smiley face.
a smiley face. Yeah.
Oh, I know, for the nose hole, I think I said a little bigger.
Oh, you can make the nose hole a little bigger.
And then much better. Yeah, that was good. Beth saved me with that.
Yeah. I think you also had a vote for me.
Oh, I did have a vote for me in there for the Face Awards.
Yeah, I think that was it. But anyway, so that was our stuff. So,
our communication.
Yeah. Matt, you are, as you're preparing for this, and I made a request that I didn't even ask you for, but
putting him on the spot, are you?
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
And so you're loading this, and it's fruity in here.
It smells like blueberries.
Do you have 99 with you?
I do. So here you go. So 99% alcohol. Mm-hmm. Why are you using that, Matt?
The airbrush paint I'm using, Endura, is an alcohol based, and the 99 helps clear it out of your gun a lot better.
And so if you have the opportunity and you find 99 out, or you order it online,
buy it.
Yeah, buy it. It's not expensive, but it's always nice. It's hard to find, so it's always nice to have it.
Thank you, sir.
There you go. All right, so we're gonna start with a little demo. You want a hand or arm? Hand?
Anything? I don't care. I didn't wear any makeup, so I was prepared.
Matt, do you need a few more minutes? You want us to keep blabbering on here while you're...
Keep blabbering if you want.
So one of the things that that kind of inspired this demo was we were charged with a creative project, and it was the Neil Zaza One Dark Night, where we had to put a number of ballet dancers, professional ballet dancers. They were a great troupe, into makeup, and we had to create a lizard dancer. And as we were trying to figure out how to do that timely, it was Matt's suggestion that we paint over him. We were going to paint over a bodysuit, but it was his suggestion that we paint over a morph suit and just cover her completely up and go from there. And so this, can you hold that out?
Of course.
So this was the morph suit. I don't know if you see both the hands and the arms, and the legs are done. And I think that as we were kind of promoting this, you probably saw the dancer, and then the head is completely done as well. The weird part, do me one favor, zip open and just stick your arm in one of those sleeves, just so when you go from a two-dimensional-ish suit and you actually pull the hands on, when you put when it has that 3-dimensional piece and you have that movement,
That is so cool.
yeah, I mean it's completely changes. And by pre-working and pre-painting, this morph suit is available at any time now, and so you could imagine covered from head to toe in this morph suit how that would feel. So after Matt kind of walks us through a demo on the skin, he's going to do some painting on the morph suit so that hopefully it'll inspire folks to go out and do some painting here. I don't even want to call it off season because it's not really an off season. Just because it's winter doesn't mean that we're slowing down. As a matter of fact, we're kind of ramping up, I think. And that was the inspiration behind it, is that kind of that morph suit. And so do you want to reveal, Matt, what you're going to paint on that morph suit, or do we want to let that thing? Do you know?
No.
Oh, okay. I like
I'm
that.
gonna wing it.
You're gonna wing it? All right, then you can't even reveal it now.
No.
There's a whole bunch of people watching. Deb, were you watching? I'm gonna slide down here. Your work, Deb. Jim Karras won this, and so Jim, you are gonna have this before the holidays. Instant message me your address so we can get this to you. And Judy Keene, our glass artist, won the Ohio pour as well. Yeah. And so, Deb, we appreciate not only you sharing your artwork, you interviewing, but you're a constant share of the work as well. And so, thank you. All right, I'm going to grab a couple pretzels and a beverage here. Matt, looks like you're getting close, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It was just being argumentative, so I was fixing it.
If anybody has any questions, shoot them out. We want this to be interactive. I bet you everybody can hear us crunch, you think?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
ASMR. Right.
Now they'll really hear it.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely my hair now.
Oh, yeah. So, should we try to call up Jess or Al?
She said she's out of work, so I know Jess would be good.
FaceTimer.
Yeah, can you FaceTime? Can you FaceTime her? All right, Jess, if you're watching, we're calling.
Oh, and Jess sent me some of her pictures that she took of me.
Oh,
For
good,
me
good.
to show tonight, actually.
Yeah.
What?
Are you going to pull them
Yeah,
up?
do you want me to?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as we
Hello.
Hi, Jess.
We are on Tuesday at 7 with you right now.
can you see us?
Get Matt in there, get
Hello.
Matt in there.
Where is he?
Thank you.
He's waving.
There he is.
How you doing? Jess, where are you?
Oh, you have bad service there.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm heading back to Ashtabula now, but
We're going to show the pictures that you took of Nikki.
I have my Lucy up right now.
which one?
Lucy.
Ooh, yeah.
So this is one of.
Isn't it funny screen to screen? Wait. Jess, you took this photo? And that's you, Nikki?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I decided to do a little collab on Dracula's Lucy, Bram Stoker's Dracula. I've always been a fan of that, especially like the 90s one. But,
This one's my
yeah,
favorite.
It was a fun little shoot. We got some fun looks while we were out there.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, that is awesome. So, Jess,
Roger, I made that headpiece myself with Terry's help.
that's awesome. Did you pull up pictures from the movie or did you just wing it?
We even borrowed a toddler.
I kind of asked her, I was like, I have an idea, I don't know what to do, and she's like, get a helmet. And so that is actually like a G.I. Joe's helmet.
For
with
their
red
headpiece.
ribbons.
Oh.
Wait, I have the before pictures.
That is awesome.
Getting crafty.
Yeah, I had to pull out all the creative stuff that I had for that one, but it turned out really fun.
So before,
Oh, that's the helmet?
Yeah. That's
then
what
there's
it was all
there's Jess,
about.
and there it is finished.
Well, that's awesome. So,
Yeah.
Jess, what have you been up to as the Gen XYZ? I don't want to even call you our official photographer because you're way more than that. Because you've also been in makeup and in
Creative,
commercials
yeah.
and creative. But what are you doing right now, just creatively?
Well, spooky season definitely kept me busy, that's for sure. I went up to a Mansfield, did a couple shoots up there. Me and Nikki did that fun little shoot. Right now I'm just kind of laying low. I started a new job, so had to take a step back a little bit. But I'm just right now just taking a list of little creative things that I can do here and there, and still meeting up with other artists around the area and meeting new people. That's what I like out of it. So.
Yeah, you're doing a great job networking and really connecting with a lot of people.
Yeah. No, especially the photography community here in like Cleveland area is such a supportive community, and I love everybody that I'm meeting. Like everybody's great. Like you think that people are cliquey and stuff like that, absolutely not. Everybody's more than willing to help each other and collaborate and get into some fun things.
So how do people find you, Jess? I know how to find you, and so does the rest of our team. But how do people find you to hire you for work?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at Just Shoot Me, and then 2 underscores after that. And I'm also on Golden Heart Portraits, and that's more of my family portraits. And been leaning more towards
Do you want to
that
tag
side
them in the comments?
recently.
Facebook comments?
I'll pull her up.
Yeah.
Sure.
So we're gonna as soon as that compressor
Yeah.
shoots back off, we'll go over that. All right, one more time. Is that
Here's her Instagram.
Just shoot me underscore on there. And then
And then at Golden Heart Portraits is my other one. That's for my more family portraits. And Roger, you're on there with your anniversary surprise for Beth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
oh, is that the
That's my more family-friendly page, I guess we'll say.
Oh, I am in there.
yeah.
Oh.
I thought it was a bad finger at first, but it's
No, that's
not.
a
We're
ring
good.
finger. Ring finger.
Yeah.
Well, Jess, you're so talented. And again,
Thank
your
you so much.
your Golden Portraits. Is that it?
Golden Heart
Yep,
Portraits.
Golden Heart Portraits, yep.
Golden Heart Portraits. So you do some family stuff there, and then you kind of have some artsy, edgy stuff at Just Shoot Me.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So-
Yeah, that's where most of my creative portraits are, and like to keep it spooky over there, so.
Gotcha.
Spooky and edgy.
Well,
But yeah, what are you guys working on? What's Matt spray paint?
What he's gonna do, and if you want to, you can just hang with us and watch for a bit. But you're gonna do a quick demo on skin, right?
Yep.
All right. So we're gonna back off and
Yeah.
just stay with us. But Jess is our photographer. We realized that a special effects team needed models and actors and actresses, and so
Do you want her on here? Shoot, I don't know what's happening.
So we have everybody. We have Jess. I see Carrie in reflection, and we got Matt coming in here.
He's going.
What are we turning Nikki into today?
She's getting a bite right now. A bite taken out of her. Mm-hmm.
Matt, I know because I've seen you do a few of these kind of zombie bites.
Mm-hmm.
Is this one of your signatures?
Yeah, I usually put it when we're doing zombies at the haunt. They usually, every one of them, get a bite, because that's how they, of course, became a zombie. And it's a good way of filling a large amount of space without having to take a lot of time to do so.
And again, there's absolutely no brush touching the skin, and so.
Can you see that? Or go back a little bit. Lean back a little bit. And turn your head.
Oh yeah,
There we
that's
go.
it.
Yeah.
Rotate your device. All right, I'm keeping it this way. All right. So, Matt, how long did this quick take you? Is that 2 minutes?
Maybe. Yeah.
A minute.
Maybe
Like,
That wasn't even.
that
That was
was
a minute. Not even.
All right. So, what color were you using? It's only one color, right?
Yeah, it's Death Burgundy. It's European Arts Death Burgundy. It's like one of my main colors at the haunted house. The most color we went through was our Death Burgundy and our Bone White. Those are our two mainstays for 95% of the makeup jobs. Keeps everything kind of realistic instead of using stark white on regular people. My philosophy in it is stark white only goes on clowns. I mean, everybody else should be some form of even if you're doing a pale skin tone, it should be like that bone white because it has a little hint of yellow into it. It works a lot better than basting somebody completely out in white and then hitting them with black around the eyes. I don't even use black either. Black's an accent color for me. I'll put black over top of something if I want it to be richer. So
Gotcha. So just tilt back your head again, Nikki. Thank you.
Did you use this color on Cynthia?
yes,
Yeah.
most of
So-
the vein work.
What was it? What again is this? Death Burgundy.
Death Burgundy, yeah.
One color, right?
One color.
And you get that whole veining and bite feel just by using the one color, and
It's all in layers, depending on how you. The alcohol based colors, the more you
look at that. Looks awesome.
the more you put over top of it, or the heavier you spray it, the darker it becomes. So if you stay back light, then it becomes more of a bruising. So that's why I love the color, because you can do so much with it to the natural skin tone, even without, or even like if I wanted to fade somebody's face out using a little bit of the bone white to start off, and then base everything on top of that. It's a good color that works well with that color without making it look too fake.
Yeah. No, I know I've asked you this question, but there are people joining in and jumping out. So you're using an Iwata airbrush. You're using a siphon, plug in the bottle, and you're spraying at what PSI?
30, I think I'm running about 30, 35.
30, 35, and that's what you tend to lean at skin, right?
Yep, I never usually spray more than 35.
Since you took so much time, could you do one more little demo maybe on an arm, inside arm or something, or wherever you want?
Okay. She wants them on her face.
Oh,
she's
on her.
like all
All right.
like that. So I'm gonna do some scratch marks across her eye. Again, one color. We're gonna do this side still. Keep it all over here. Let me turn this pressure down a little bit more. Keep them going closer to
How does that feel there, Nikki?
What kind of fight
feels
have you been in,
good.
Nikki?
And it smells
many.
fruity. You know, like blueberry?
My favorite part.
Oh, yeah. Bite mark? Oh, yeah. You can't even see it, can you?
No.
Put that from on. We gotta.
Why can't you see your own face? Come on.
I'm thinking to myself.
This is always my favorite part.
Was the reveal?
Yeah, because I never know what I look like. Matt. That's so cool.
I'm just preparing for that challenge, you know?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, right.
I just want to be as cool as you, Matt.
Oh, that ain't gonna
So
take
cool.
you much.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so if anybody has any questions, let me set this back down over here and shoot out your questions. There's a number of folks that are watching, and we don't have any questions, and that's good because either people are just chilling out,
Or we put him to sleep.
put them to sleep. They got the stuffing and the turkey preparing for Thursday. I hope folks are doing well. If folks would click out there and let us know from where you're watching. I mean, if it's Cleveland, Ohio, or Parma, Ohio, or elsewhere, we would love to hear from where you're watching. And we've got people watching from some pretty far away at times. And I'm always interested in finding where we're reaching to. So, as you saw, we were just doing a demonstration on the paint straight to the skin. And Matt's he's going to wing it, and he's going to do something a little bit different, which is he's going to paint a morph suit. And the reason why we're doing the morph suit is once it's painted, you can use it over and over and over and just jump in fast. But Matt, tell us what you've got here. This thing here, it's just a bust, right?
Yeah, it's a bust from Monster Makers.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of their older ones. They have some newer ones out right now that are really cool.
Yeah.
But this is just an old one that I kind of use for a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's sculpting on, or this is I think the second time that this one's been sprayed on.
So do you just wash them and do a different one on top of it?
What's that?
The morph suit or the bust?
No, the bust is where the second time it's been sprayed on,
Oh,
and
okay.
not the morph suit. This is the first time for the morph suit.
If this paint, if you were to wash these morph suits, in other words, drop it in the wash, would it get? What is your thoughts about?
As long as
We'd want to hand wash them.
Well, no, as long as they've been heat set, then they'll last.
So what does that mean? So I mean, I know what it means, but who?
Throw it in not a hair dryer. Just like a dryer on high heat.
So after we're done, do this. We'll heat set it.
Yeah, throw it in the dryer on high heat and let it heat set, and then it's good to go for a while.
Good, and then you could even
Now,
wash.
I'm not going to say that after 40 million washes or whatever, it's still going to be held up, but you'll get a good couple seasons out of it anyways. No more than it may fade, but you can always go back in and touch it back up if it is fading. If you're the one who did it, so
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna sit back and we're gonna continue to talk. If anybody has any questions, let us know from where you're watching or where you're watching from. I'll end my sentence with a prepositional phrase, and we're interested in kind of seeing where this goes, Matt. Because you said you're thinking. I can see those wheels turning.
horrible, ain't they?
Yeah, I love that.
Well, I could do something as simple as a skull. I don't know what I really want to do.
While you're thinking about that,
You guys got some ideas you want to throw at me?
yeah, I mean, I love skull idea.
Yeah.
I love skull idea because that is, and then
It could be used for so many different things.
Yeah, and you can change them around so much too, so it's good.
so I'm gonna do a skull, and it'll be Matt Seel feel to that because he has his own style. Certainly, is Jess still there? You watching? Okay, Jess. No, I was. That was just. I'm glad that you're still with us. Are you on the road?
I am, yeah. I'm back from work right now. I'm actually going to the grocery store, but I wanted to see Matt work his magic, so I'm hanging out.
Yeah. All right. Well, be careful and stick with us.
Oh, yeah.
She's obviously pulled her hair. It's fine.
Obviously.
So what did we decide on? A skull?
A skull. Oops, wrong side.
that Superman picture silly. That was my that was a birthday present.
Oh my gosh, no, that is so fun. That's awesome. Superman crossed out Super Roger.
Yeah.
I know, right? I know, right?
We gotta share this.
Oh,
There it is.
Matt gave Matt sent me this drawing of his. It's a illustration for my birthday, and it's been sitting down here, and I guess it's the first time it's been on camera.
Yeah.
Matt, you do a little bit of everything.
I try. Figuring one of them someday will get me a couple dollars.
And I see some people are kind of watching for a while, jumping off, getting back on, seeing the progress. Feel free to just kind of jump in and share, to ask questions. So Matt, you're using, what kind of paint are you using?
This is Wicked color.
Mm-hmm.
It's a family of Createx. It's a multi-purpose. So
You can just stop right there.
Yeah, right.
done. No.
I think my phone's about to die, but I want to let you guys know that I am doing an artist showcase at the end of next month. I believe it's the 21st. I can definitely get you some details here soon if you wanted to come and support your girl.
Yeah, send us the
Yes.
information.
Yeah.
What
Yeah, I
day?
think my phone's, I'm about to die over here, but once I get home and charged up, I'll get back to you guys, okay?
Perfect.
All right, we'll see ya.
We love you,
Drive
Dad.
carefully. Happy
Bye.
Thanksgiving.
Love you
Careful.
guys. Take it easy.
Nice.
All
Oh,
right,
that's so
so we
exciting.
said goodbye to Jess. Again, for those folks that are kind of jumping in, Gen XYZ is we assembled about a year ago, and we've done a few projects. And as things just kind of slowed down here after October, we decided to get back together and kind of maybe cast some vision for this coming year, and also to borrow upon Matt's mad wizard genius airbrush, because a lot of folks ask about it, and because it's in such high demand, we kind of wanted to walk through it, isn't it?
So cool.
And again, what we wanted to do was to go through painting a
Ready for
morph
that
suit.
challenge yet?
Are you ready?
No.
What are you talking about, Matt? What is that challenge?
I want Matt's crown.
Oh, you want?
I want to be as good as Matt. I don't think it's gonna happen.
He's great. So the reason why we decided to go ahead and talk about painting over a morph suit is because if you're going to spend that time, that detail, it's nice to be able to just reuse it.
instead of washing it off.
Yeah, reuse it. If somebody was doing let's say a bunch of skeletons, you could probably whip out a few of them in a number of hours and then just costume over the top of them.
Yeah.
And that was the whole idea behind doing kind of that lizard character. And as we decided to kind of call Matt to say, hey, Matt, what are you feeling? And he pulled this morph suit, or just a body suit, right over this form, and started spraying away. Now,
There it is. Nice.
so after we're done with this, whoever's wearing this morph suit could certainly wear it and look right through those black holes. But Carrie, if you could go grab that other suit, if you don't mind, and just kind of pull the face over here. What we did with this particular suit was this thing was pulled right over the top of this same head form and the same bust. And what we did is we took latex and we coated it. And then we went ahead and cut out the eyes so that it wouldn't tear out. So we used latex, and then again we just kind of cut out the eyes, and so whoever's wearing it can see right through it. But you guys probably saw that dancer wearing this morph suit. There at that concert this past, that Neo Zaza One Dark Night. And I see people jumping in. Again, this is interactive, so feel free to ask questions. I know folks are kind of jumping in, just going, what's this thing looking like? How's it progressing?
Oh yeah, I put on mine. You can? Yeah, good point.
One of the things that, as Matt's kind of working on this, one of the things that we advocate, and I always love, is like, what kind of shortcuts can you take to reuse it? I mean, if you're gonna take the time to paint, can we reuse it? The same with that same ballet. We had to do a bearded woman.
That looked amazing.
So we did this. We did this crepe hair beard right over nylon, and it ran behind her ears, and then it got pinned back into her hair.
Can I put it on?
Yeah, it's and so the whole idea of doing a crepe hair beard, it was made to custom fit her, but it's pretty because it's flexible. It should be able to fit people of probably average facial features. And so we had to get this dancer in and out really fast. And so we created this beard over this nylon. From stage, you couldn't see it at all, but the intention was just a quick in. And so as you want to,
I do.
yeah, go check that out. Can you see it?
I'm a nice looking man.
Look at that. But at any rate, we are advocates of taking shortcuts. If we're gonna do some crepe hair and create a beard, we might as well create one that we can put on and take back off. And you could join the circus.
You could.
I don't want to take it off.
Yeah, we'll leave that on for a while. And Matt, you doing one side at a time?
Like,
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I'm making sure I get it the way I want it. Problem is, like the light source.
Am I in your way? Do you want to?
No, like the light source here, I can see the structure.
Oh, I
There's
see.
no real good light source over on this side.
That makes sense.
It looks real. It really does look real. So let's try it on.
sure.
Way to go!
I didn't do anything.
That's why we can't have nice things.
I know.
I'm trying to get a light source back here.
Your chin like fits perfectly inside. Oh my god, Harry, yes.
Oh yeah, you gotta post that.
Yay! Oh, that works real well. That's nice.
So again, just taking a shortcut to creating a beard.
I need to make one for myself.
Yeah. And then the same idea of creating a shortcut here with the morph suit. I see folks going on. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for sharing. Again, what we're doing is we're just kind of having a studio night. We're talking through some different things. Figured we'd borrow upon Matt's insane knowledge of the airbrush and sharing that out as well. So it's always a pretty popular discussion and topic. One, as he had shared before, because it's durable. That if you're using right now on skin, you usually use the Endura, right?
Yeah.
Right now you're using what paints are you using?
This is Wicked color by Createx.
Use this on t-shirts? Is it?
Yep.
Is that what you use it
Yep.
for? Okay.
Can be used on t-shirts, on vehicles. It's a very good multi-purpose color paint.
And if you're just joining us now, Matt said after you finish spraying, that if you heat set it by dropping, putting it in the dryer, tumbling it for a few minutes, and heat set the paint into the fabric, that it becomes durable and more washable. I mean, if I had something this cool, I probably would hand wash it.
Yeah.
I'd probably hand wash it. I probably wouldn't drop it in a traditional washing machine. But it's nice to know that it's that durable.
When you do skulls, do you normally work on one side and then mirror on the other? Or do you sometimes go back and forth?
Well, actually, like when I did the first the reptile one, what I would really have done if I was doing it properly is I would have kind of went in with a white pencil and sketched everything out first.
Gotcha.
Just to balance everything out.
Oh, it's a costume day.
It is. I don't know why I'm surprised it fits, because it's made for my face.
It is custom made for your face. Yeah, yeah.
Give me
Oh, it still sticks.
Perfect, thank you. Aww.
You were a great model.
Look like a wrinkly old man.
And the funny part about it was it looked pretty painful coming out when we were dissolving you out. How was getting out of that makeup?
It was the best feeling I have ever had in my life. It was
There's your dome.
so hot.
Oh,
That is my head.
That's another one.
Oh, I have two heads.
That was the one we did here. That was
Oh,
that was the
yeah,
first
yeah.
mock-up, I think. Or was that the first mock-up?
No, this is game day.
Is it?
That's
I think
game day.
so.
That was practice.
Oh, yeah.
This is
that's
definitely
That's
game
not
day.
done.
Yeah, because that one's more white.
It was so hot and so. Ugh. I was just so ready to get it off. And I kept
Or we
breaking
did
back
walk around
shoes,
and do like 900 pictures afterwards.
which was the coolest thing ever. You got to see all the behind the scenes of the prison and stuff like that.
So we haven't gotten a single question, and I think that we have a lot of folks just enjoying it. Hopefully, folks are off tomorrow. Maybe they're sipping back a adult beverage at this time of night. I'm interested where people are watching from, and I also like to. It is spooky.
That's scary.
You look like a creeper.
Really creepy. Like I
Wow.
should be in
Well,
prison.
well, give me that.
Old man.
Give me a profile too. Ooh.
This side.
Yeah, we'll skip. Yeah, that is creepy.
Should be in prison.
Yeah.
You see this guy outside, like, run away.
Yeah, definitely run.
Ew.
That is funny. So we are all about efficient shortcuts, and that's why we created that beard. Again, that's a crepe hair beard. I mean, if folks want to go back, I've demoed using crepe hair.
Yeah.
What I did was we kind of custom cut the nylon
Right.
and fit it to a face, and then we used actually what I did is I used latex.
Yeah, I could see the latex.
I used latex, so if you were looking at the back side of it, you'd see the latex, and because if you use regular glue, it would get brittle, and that glue would break off. But I used latex, and so we could.
And then are you setting it with powder?
So I use latex set with powder on the outside.
Yeah.
After we finish the beard, we peel it off and then reset with latex on the, touch it with the latex on the inside, and then powder it again so it doesn't stick to itself.
Gotcha.
So.
Very smart. That is sickening. It's even cooler seeing it on here too.
Yeah.
I've been watching through
Through the
through the
viewfinder.
phone, yeah.
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 How you doing, Heather? I'm hoping you're doing well. Are you painting here off? I see off season. I should stop using that because it's not off
Yeah, we
season.
gotta
It's
come
on
up with
season. It's
holiday
game
looks
time.
and
Yeah.
Other creepy things.
Yeah.
Do a creepy Christmas thing.
Creepy Christmas. Yeah, you can do a lot of things.
for those who are watching right now and listening right now, I'm going to give you a little teaser. I'm actually doing, Beth and I went down to Tower City just a few days ago, and we toured the Kringle show.
Okay.
And so we're doing a live stream next week with the originators of Kringle. And Kringle, it feels to me kind of fantastical and kind of like Whoville.
Mm-hmm.
And they call it the Kringle's Inventionasium. And so the folks that go on this tour and they invent toys and but they use makeup and character building and costuming down there, but they do it in kind of this holiday. It just feels to me like Whoville.
Okay.
Hair, and they've got great lighting. But again, that's the same, kind of the same idea of using makeup skills and just taking it to a different show and a different feel. So Matt, did you study anatomy to kind of figure out, or do you just learn where the bones are, or how do you?
Again, this isn't like 100%. If I was going to be going after an exact look, I would have reference. But yeah, I learned anatomy a long time ago. Back in 6th grade, my art teacher gave me his college anatomy book because he kind of felt like I was excelling in art beyond where everybody else was.
You were the
at.
prodigy at 6th grade?
Well, I don't know about a prodigy because I haven't amounted to much after that, so...
Well, I'll tell you what, if anybody is looking to connect with a phenomenal artist, Matt, you do a little bit of everything. You do ink, you do custom work, you did for the prison, how big was that giant clown head?
Over 6 foot.
A 6-foot clown head. You can pull that up?
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about that project.
Well, I learned a lot from that project, that's for one thing.
House!
There is many ways to skin a cat when you're building a 6-foot tall clown head. I definitely learned that idea. So
Yeah, that thing is 6 feet tall.
6 foot tall, and that was chicken wire and...
chicken wire. And it started off with chicken wire and paper mache, and then I did fiberglass over top of it.
Oh yeah, here's an in-process photo. Paper mache, chicken wire, and then you layered it with fiberglass?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So... that was in a paper. I mean, and this thing got a little bit of attention this year. I can see why.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. All right, thank you folks for jumping in. Hey, Matt Goodlet is jumped on here. He was next to us, and
Demon Fabulous.
yeah, we got Nikki, but she's not in makeup. Oh yeah,
Yeah, I just look like this.
Yeah, you're in some makeup.
oh yeah, she's in makeup.
A little bit.
Not any prosthetics. I hope you guys are all doing well. Matt, you're probably you probably feel pretty comfortable with that airbrush.
Yeah, he just had an artist showcase too. 3 of them were painting live, and they got to show off their work and everything.
Can we
What?
pull that up too?
Well, I did. What, Matt?
Not me.
Matt,
Oh,
no,
this Matt.
Yeah,
Matt Goodlet.
Yeah.
Matt, yes. You were. I missed that. Yeah, pull that up.
got you.
So, when we were down at the Mansfield Reformatory competing, right to the one side of us was Matt Goodlet and his team, great makeup artist. But he was just, you said a live demo? Was that?
Yeah, it was. I think it was like a gallery type event. I don't know if he has anything posted from it. It was on his story.
Matt, where are you at? Are you back
Matt,
home?
Yeah, there you
Here's
go.
Matt.
Oh, yeah, we like to. There you go.
And both of our characters at Monster Make-Off looked so cool next to each
Yeah,
other
they
with
look-
your
they look
light
well,
purples
so-
and her
Yeah.
reds.
And funny story, we were actually thinking about her character before we decided on Cynthia.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Because they were...
Elizabeth Bathory.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So Matt, good luck. Thank you for jumping in, not to be confused with Matt Seel. Some people will stop and say, is that... I see something in the background. Is that something that was from 10 years ago or different pieces? And so as Matt is painting here, I'm going to do just a kind of a quick walk. And we've done that a few
Jess
times.
said she thought someone was hiding in the corner before when she was watching.
She
Oh.
got a new teammate.
Yeah. Over the years, the decades, it's like, well, there's a $25 mannequin. Pick it up at a garage sale. A lot of this stuff is garbage finds. Almost several of these dress forms are garbage finds. I'm sometimes driving to work and I'm like, quit pulling that away. I'll pull over, turn on the hazards, and bring it home.
Don't let him fool you. He was trying to get to the carpool lane. That's all.
Yeah, that's right. But this is Sluggo, one of our... Oh, it's autographed by Jason Blazak, who is one of our artist friends, Screamline Studios. Jason, we're glad that you're doing well. But he would custom create these, sculpt them, paint them, and I don't even know whether Sluggo is still in production. Of course, we got a bunch of different things that have been taken off of folks or such over the years. You just saw the beard. I think this was Crestline House. You'll see that this face has mustache and glasses, different things over the years. There's Drake. If you're still watching, this is actually one of Drake's works when he was young. He did a zombie at school, and he wanted to do a chess piece. I don't know how old he was, elementary school, maybe kindergarten or first grade, but he wanted to do a zombie, and so we soft sculpted zombie chest. You'll see here is also the face that went with it. Again, that thing is about 15 years old and it's holding up pretty well.
Going to school seeing someone wearing that.
I know.
That's crazy.
I know. The many of our kids enjoy it. They and they're all really good artists, but none of them have picked it up and said, "This is what I want to run with."
Mm-hmm.
But anytime that we need extra folks or extra hands, I mean, they're always jumping in as well. You'll see we did kind of some hands here. It's our crazy studio. Essentially, it's kind of like a junk room with a bunch of theatrical stuff that we picked up over the years. It is kind of a fun junk room. And Matt's continuing to paint in. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to stop and ask those along the way. We see a whole bunch of folks that have signed in, and some folks are signing in and they're watching for 5 minutes, going to grab probably some Cheetos or something, and then coming back.
Is that black now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even see the front. Wow. It is happening.
House. I think one of the things that I enjoy so much about makeup, and I think it's something that we all share, and that is taking something that's three-dimensional and painting it and making it look extra three-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that cheekbone feels really like there's a ton of depth to that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the detail that Matt's painting in. Again, for those who are joining now, Matt is using a double action Iwata airbrush. It's a siphon feed. Am I getting in your way, Matt? I'm gonna try to get some of this. I'm right in Matt's face here.
Oh my gosh. Those details like kill me. That's my favorite part of all this makeup is when you get to add in the details.
Yeah, I've seen some of your crazy skulls you do.
I love doing. I did so many skulls for Halloween this year. I normally don't do that many.
My favorite one that you did was the anatomical drawing where you made yourself look like you were a sketch.
Yeah.
That was
oh,
my
those
absolute
sketchy
favorite.
ones are fun.
Your
yeah.
Pennywise killed me.
1 million views?
What was that?
Didn't you get a whole lot of views at that prank, the Pennywise prank?
Oh, yes. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about
Or are you talking about my pastel one?
your pastel one.
Yeah. But yeah, I did a makeup for the Ballmark family, and the wife did a prank on the husband, and she scared him. They got, over 1 million views on it.
Yeah, and
they're such a fun family.
like
They're
way beyond 1 million, like 1.5 million or so, right?
Still climbing, yeah. So that was a blast. But yeah, the pastel one, that was fun. Yeah.
Can you show us one of those sketch ones?
Yeah, let's see.
As
what I
Matt's
can
doing his
find.
work. So, Carrie is a body painter, makeup artist. Both Carrie and Nikki are part of Gen XYZ. And, you know who we have to call? We have to call Al in a little bit.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
So this is the one Nikki was talking about. Here's my Pennywise, but I made it. So it's like pastel colors. So that was a lot of fun.
And that was with a brush, right? Do you use sponges or all brush?
Just brush, yeah.
Brush?
Yeah. And then I have my colored contacts in there.
Oh.
So there's that.
And if people want to follow you at
And Makeup Madhouse.
Makeup Madhouse?
Yes. Yeah, for
Everything Makeup Madhouse. Let's see what else we're able to find.
For those of you who are watching, I get distracted and I'm not looking through the viewfinder and I'm like, oh, the viewfinder's pointing at the floor.
Here's another Halloween.
Oh yeah, kind of pumpkin and
pumpkin skeleton together.
Mix. Very nice.
Yeah. My sketch ones are further back though, so I don't know if I'll be able to find them in there.
Now, beauty makeup is not at all my thing, but you've got some great eyes going on there.
Yeah, I'm actually, when I go home, I'm gonna, I got some new colored contacts, and I'm eventually gonna make a video for them.
So this is gonna be for your video this evening?
Yeah. This is just gonna be like a little part of it, but they're like this real cool blue color, and they're supposed to just enhance like the colors of your eyes, so it's gonna be interesting. I've never tried, like they're a new line for them, so it'll be interesting to see how they turn out.
Nice.
But, yeah.
And you're gonna still pull up your sketch if you could find that. You got so much artwork, right?
I have 35,000 pictures on my phone, so I'm a little bit of a photo hoarder, but yeah.
Probably find it faster by going to your Instagram.
Yeah, it wasn't loading down here.
Well, as you're looking at that, we'll
if I
kind of come
find it,
back
I'll
in
show
and
ya.
get some of these details. Matt, have you ever painted a car or a van?
Yep.
Have you ever painted a motorcycle?
Yep. I'm getting ready to do another one soon.
Another motorcycle?
If all goes well.
Do they like take the tank off, or do they bring the bike to you, or do you go to the bike?
They'll usually bring me the pieces.
Okay. What's an unexpected thing that you've airbrushed? Outside of people.
Which one is he
Unexpected thing?
Maybe not. Yeah, unexpected. Like if folks would say, oh,
Nikki found it, yeah.
this is you?
Yeah, that's me, so it's like supposed to be sketchy. I don't remember what's on the next one. Yeah.
So when you do this, you paint yourself, you stand up obviously in front of a white backdrop.
Uh-huh.
Is there somebody taking a photo of you, or do you
I
run?
take my own pictures. I have a timer, a little button, a remote, and just my tripod. So yeah, I take all my pictures myself.
And that's at
Makeup Madhouse on there.
Oh, it's heaven.
I I have hundreds and hundreds of
Make
body
It Mad
paints
House.
on there.
Yeah. How do you store all your photos? Do you store them out on like a Google Drive? Do you download them off your phone?
Yeah, so I have a Canon. So I use my camera and then I transfer them to my computer. I do a little bit with the contrast. I don't edit too much, but when I know there's some artists out there who I know it's a part of their work where they do edit things, and I understand that, but I try not to. And if I do, I usually try and tell people that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then I just do a little bit with color and contrast, and then post it on Instagram, sometimes Facebook, my website.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when I'm doing pictures for other people, usually on Google Drive, and then I'll send them to them.
Do folks use Google Drive? Old guys like us, that's a newer thing.
Yeah.
Old guys like this guy and like this guy, but Google Drive, man, to be able to just upload it and then share it that way is, I don't know, it's kind of weird to think about how easy that is.
Yeah.
What was that?
That's how I did all my group projects in college.
Oh.
Yeah, because like you can see when other people are on, and you can see what they're typing.
Yeah, and
there's like a messenger and stuff like that.
Nice. All right, we're gonna come back in here, check. I don't know the details.
But yeah.
I'd say this is where the magic happens, but it's been magical since you started.
Right.
Matt, if somebody wants to, I don't know, maybe you're a person who's like, no, just something to be quiet and paint. Do you like to be quiet when you paint?
I unfortunately half the time I'm holding my breath, so.
You know, can we breathe, right?
You do hold your breath.
Been yelled at for it for years.
I hold my breath when you get close, when you paint me too.
And then no one's breathing.
Yeah, so all of us are just gonna pass out.
You're all gonna pass out, and Carrie and I will come over and make sure your airways are clear, and you can recuperate. I'm gonna go over the top of your shoulder here. So for those that are joining, we're just kind of taking a look at Matt's airbrush skills. He's painting over the top of a black morph suit or a black bodysuit. We used the same idea when we were working for Verb Ballet and Neil Zaza's One Dark Night, and it was so much fun and effective that we decided, well, let's do a quick demo using airbrush over these bodysuits. Obviously, because you can reuse them and get in them and get out of them quick at the same time. House. I know people are popping in to see as they're going. How you doing, Drake? Now there's obviously, for those who are looking, the black suits. The black morph suits, bodysuits are super cool, but they come in just about every color. So if you were doing something fantastical and needed like a neon green, they have those. I like the flesh tones as well. Yeah, I mean, there's one over there. If you could bring over, I would imagine if you were doing maybe a zombie and you needed the natural flesh tones, you did the exact same thing, painting over just kind of the nude. And what a way to kind of save some time. Of course, we got white bodysuits and such, but I don't know. That black is kind of cool. Now, if anybody has any questions, go ahead and shoot those along. We're about an hour and a half in, and so what we'll do is kind of wrap up here in a bit. We'll show some. Oh, you know who we have to call before we wrap up?
Al.
Yeah, do somebody have Al's number?
I have
Al is our costume designer. and she is driving to Chicago for Thanksgiving to be with her family. And she is. You know that Kent State has been recognized as one of the top fashion schools in the world.
Oh, in the world.
In the world, I read that within the past 7 days, and so.
We're on live. Say hello to everyone.
Hey, how you doing, Al?
Good.
Good. We could get a little pic of you here live.
Hi, buddy.
I can't really do much. I'm driving.
Don't look at us. Just talk to us.
Okay.
You're on your way back to Chicago, right?
Yes, I am.
How is school going?
Sophia. I don't know if you see her.
Hello, Sophia.
Hey, Sophia. You're live to the world right now. But how's school going and your design work?
School's going good. Working on my last portfolio for drawing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's coming together. And then we're doing a draping project inspired by Isabel Toledo right now. So I'm working on that.
Oh. I was just telling Carrie that I read, I don't remember what magazine, it was a Kent periodical of some sort, that Kent State was recognized as one of the top fashion design schools in the world.
Well, I don't know about the world, but definitely the country. I think they're like number 4 or number 5 right now, you know?
Yeah.
I know they're like top 5 or something. They're pretty, I think they're like at least top 20 in the world, but...
Well, we are glad that you're connected to us, because when we need some incredible design skills, we call you up. And so those folks that recognize some of the work, and you saw that long dress that Nikki was wearing, that was the design of Al Louise, and some great work. You want to take Al over so she can see his what's going on there? Keep your eyes on the road, Al.
She's a very safe driver.
It is.
Yeah.
Nikki, are you going to be putting that on?
She's been putting everything else on and down.
Oh,
here.
look at my face. I put on my Cynthia face and I put on a beard, so you missed that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So they're just like messing with your face right now.
Yeah, I mean,
no,
I'm
she's doing
just.
it to herself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just messing with all of Roger's stuff, to be honest.
Did you ever see that? Did you ever see the costume area?
Oh.
Yeah, but back there, flip on the light and.
Oh, I will have to find Roger. I don't know if I've ever.
You ever seen it?
I picked one like a long time ago.
Oh my! Wow.
I know. He brought me in there last time we were at his house, and I was like, oh my god.
Isn't this place crazy? Yeah. This is decades of theater and craziness, and so, I mean, in boxes and in all kinds of stuff. Yeah, you'd find some. I mean, there's.
Jess and I need to come in
She
here.
would die in here, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys can come over and grab some stuff for
This.
some shoots.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
We're obsessed.
I mean, go ahead and look around and go, hey, we could use. But even that wardrobe has spilled out to, hallways. We did a lot of ghosts this year. This is the year of the ghosts.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of ghostly wear here. So. I kind of enjoy the studio nights for Tuesday at 7. It's kind of low key.
Hands on.
Yeah.
cute.
How did the Face Awards win?
Yeah, so we made it to the top 5 and we didn't win, but that's okay. It was honestly probably better that way, so yeah. Yeah, but it was fun. Very time consuming. And I want a lot of makeup. Yes.
It was really, really cool though. I enjoyed seeing all the stuff that you did.
Thank you.
Your Instagram is always popping off, so.
I do my best. How's your drive going?
It's going good.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
How long have you been driving for?
about 3 hours.
Oh gosh.
Are you
We got about 3 hours to go, so.
are you on the other side of Gary, Indiana yet?
No.
Oh no.
We
Okay.
haven't been in Indiana yet.
Okay.
Still in Ohio?
Yeah, we're still in Ohio.
Oh my goodness.
I'm about to go through the toll booth, so when I go through the toll booth, I'm gonna
Sure.
follow that.
Yeah.
And then we'll be finally in Indiana.
Woohoo.
Ohio's a very big state.
Yeah, Ohio is a lot bigger than you really think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Matt, you use the PSI lesson 35 on faces. Are you using the same on this?
I didn't dial it any different. I could push it up a little higher. We gotta do that. That might help my spray.
Dialing up the pressure. People are jumping on. Thank you for watching with us tonight. Happy Thanksgiving, folks. Hey, Rick. Glad to see you. Everybody else kind of popping in. You see that we're doing kind of a studio night with Gen XYZ and Matt's doing some airbrushing. Doing airbrushing here over a black bodysuit, morph suit.
Yeah, see face.
Happy Thanksgiving. You're just airbrushing the skull over a what's some advice you'd give to somebody who is newly thinking or working on becoming an airbrush artist?
The biggest advice is don't just go and buy the cheapest you can find for airbrush, because all it's going to do is cause frustration and then you won't want to do it anymore. So unfortunately, airbrush is one of those types of things where you kind of have to commit yourself a little bit. You don't have to go all out and buy, $500 or $600 airbrush, but like the ones I like are the Iwatas, just because they're so durable.
And how much is it, Iwata?
You can get them for between like 120 to 160.
Okay.
And then the compressor, you don't have to go this big, but that's about a $250 compressor, which will do anything and everything you could possibly even think of.
So you're probably $4-ish bills to get a good airbrush, a good compressor, and to get yourself started.
Yeah.
If somebody, and with Christmas and the holidays coming, maybe you could put some things on your list. Once you have that stuff, once you're like, okay, I'm in, and then what?
Practice. Biggest misconception with an airbrush artist that I've noticed, especially the ones who do it for makeup for haunted houses, is they'll pull that airbrush out during October, spray the crap out of it, pack it back away, and it doesn't get opened up again until next October. And you're never going to get any better. You're never going to learn. This year with my group, I'm actually doing what's called a makeup boot camp. It's going to allow them a chance to learn, and it's going to make sure that next season we're all going to be on the same page, so our makeup's a little more uniform, and it will help out with areas where people may be struggling at that. I can give them some, examples to maybe help them out.
Would you say if you were to set up a space where several artists, whether it's a hunt or I don't know, folks painting T-shirts, whatever the case might be, do you suggest always like having a bunch of the same airbrushes and just kind of being uniform across that, or getting different airbrushes with different?
Really, you want to find your comfort, and if the Iwata is what you're comfortable using, then I recommend you keep on buying the Iwatas, because every brush you run into is going to be a little bit different, so you got to kind of relearn that whole brand new brush. Now you can go more expensive, always, but I've always found that no matter where I've bought the Iwata Eclipse, it's always been the same. So when I had to go and buy one, I was able to open it up, use it, and I felt comfortable with it. I've bought other companies' brushes, in the past, and I've struggled with them. I like the brushes, don't get me wrong. It's just some of them didn't have they didn't feel like a comfortable ride. It's like riding in a Cadillac for so long, and then you decide, well, I'm going to try out this, I don't know, Lexus or whatever. This is close to what it is, but it's still, maybe the seat doesn't fit right, or there's a little bit more of a rattle sometimes in the different airbrushes. The trigger doesn't slide back as smooth, and a lot of that's in the construction. It's not like there's anything wrong with the brush. It's just, to me, it doesn't feel.
It's like the clutch. It's kind of like the clutch. Where's your sweet spot?
Right.
Or your gas pedal. You're like, oh yeah, that's where the thing moves. That's how I kind of describe a double action, the clutch or the gas pedal. I actually have, Matt calls it the kindergarten.
Pache.
The Pache single action. But I got that airbrush, I don't know, 25 years ago. And I bought it, and I sprayed latex through it. I would water down latex, and I would use that for items like soft sculpting. And what I would do is I'd run latex through the airbrush, and it was just, I'd open it wide open. It would just spit. But it gave me exactly what I was looking for. And then I'd add some acrylic to my latex. And so my layers of paint were actually latex paint sprayed through a single action airbrush, and that was the way that I sometimes I use a paintbrush to spread it, but a lot of times I was spraying the latex, but I was using a single action Pache gravity feed with a giant cup on it, and I would just fire that thing up and spit that latex through it.
Matt, do your hands ever cramp up?
Well, they're old, so yeah. But I mean, I've been doing it for so long. Yeah, I'll get this like where I'll just like have to. It's like my pinky kind of sticks, so I'll give it a little crack and it'll release, and that relieves the pressure enough for me to be able to just keep on going. But
all right, so we had a chance to catch up with Gen XYZ. We talked to Jess, our model and photographer. We talked to Nikki, who is our model and artist.
Yeah, girl.
And she is a poser.
I'm a poser.
And she's a poser, so we were able to even see that pose. That's perfect. We could go ahead and see the.
I don't think you know what poser means.
See, I probably don't. So she's not a poser. She is a model.
She's a model who poses.
A model who poses. There you go. All right, so we are showing the bite mark and the scratch mark that Matt went ahead and demonstrated. Carrie, who's Makeup Madhouse, also another artist. She does body painting and mostly work with brushes, right?
Yeah, brushes, a lot of different makeup, different brands and things.
I shall
and...
convert her.
Yeah.
You probably will. At some point.
You know,
at some point.
Honestly, I think that with what you're doing, the combination of that airbrush and your brush skills, you're gonna go super far with that.
Have you ever airbrushed yourself, Matt?
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt.
Oh gosh, my poor little hands would actually die.
I try to be a contortionist while
like,
you're looking in
I
the
can't.
mirror with one eye closed because you're
Yeah.
spraying that in that
Spray
eye.
the
It's
other
like,
eye.
oh.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Any last words, Matt? We're gonna sign off here, and we're gonna post some photos of this final work, and we'll also we'll post a photo of this skull on somebody's face as well, because it'll even pop out even more. Any last words, Matt?
if you decide you're going to become an airbrush artist, just remember to practice. Take your time. It's not going to happen overnight. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me on Facebook.
Yeah. How do they contact you?
I think it's through my name, Matt Seel.
How do you spell your last name?
S-E-E-L.
S-E-E-L. And
Look it up on Roger's page. It's probably on there.
yeah, you click any of us. We're all friends with Matt, so click on there. He's got great work. You'll see his ink. He also does tattooing and art of every sort. Well, thank you, Matt, for sharing your time with us. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Carrie. And for everybody who shares, we'll give a few things away next week. We have a whole bunch of extras. Thank you, Deb Sherrill. We have given away or pick the names for your artwork, both your Ohio and your art pour. And again, thank you everybody for spending your Tuesday evening with us. And happy Thanksgiving. All right. Have a great holiday, guys.